Hi, how are you? My name is Houston and welcome back to another video. What am I enjoying right now? A lot of things. Too many things to name in one video because I feel like I'll just go off on too many tangents and just keep yapping away. I'm just going to choose this hat. This new hat from Windthrow store in Cap Hill here in Seattle. Windthrows is great, like outdoor running, hiking, just overall really elevated sort of outdoor store. It really is a fantastic place. They have a great culture that they're building around the sports of like running, hiking, just being outdoors, and the gear that they have, the clothing, or just the pieces that Nate, the owner, curates. I think that really is something to admire. This hat is one of their hats. Got the W there for Windthrow and their like signature swirl that seems to be present in almost all of the things that they release of their brand, at least. I've never had like a cream or white hat before, so this is a little new for me, but I really like it. I mean, I'm a big fan of earth tones. You have probably seen me wear their other hat, which is right back there, that camo one that I have on in like every single video that I record. So it'll be nice to introduce another one into the rotation. I do wear a fair amount of my hats, but of course, like with any new thing you get, right, you just become really obsessed with wearing that one thing or using that one thing as opposed to rotating it out for the older things that you have. With that being said, as always, this is a reminder to think about one thing that you are really enjoying. It doesn't have to be a new thing. It doesn't have to be like an item. It can just be a person, a relationship, a conversation you maybe had recently. There are infinite things to dwell upon in that area. So I think that we would all be a little better off if we took a couple more moments to just consider them. And with that, let's get into some Mortal Shell. Didn't ever think that I would be saying that. All right, here we are on Mortal Shell. You may have heard of this game, you may haven't. I think it's probably one of the more prominent Souls-likes in the space. This came out in like 2020, and it's from this like pretty small, especially at the time, and still a studio called Cold Symmetry. I think at the time in like 2020, it was like 10 people, maybe 15, and then I think now they're at around like 30 or 40. They're working on the second one, which is why I am revisiting this one, and I think probably like a third or a little bit more of the way through the game. I've defeated like one of the 3 big bosses, so that's the only reason I say that. Of course, I'm rocking giant sword because, you know, what else are you supposed to do? I just recently unlocked a fast travel ability, which I don't understand why these games don't introduce fast travel right off the bat. Like, this reminds me of DS1, where you have to get the urn or whatever the hell it is, the goblet thing that you set down by the snake guy. It bothers me that these names are escaping me. Makes me feel like I have dementia. I got the fast travel, and luckily through my many explorations, I found my way to this area, the crypt, way earlier in the game. So I don't really have to like go way out of my way to go here to fight the second boss. Obviously, we got to rock the big sword because what else would we be doing in a Souls-like? At one point when this game first came out, it was really on my radar because I'm pretty sure the main founder and one of the character artists, Vitaly Bulgarov, he is somebody who I have followed for many, many years because if you didn't know this, I used to make a lot of like 3D art and 3D design stuff. And there were many years where I was just obsessed with character work. I wanted to be a concept designer and like everything that goes on with that, whether it was characters or environments or just like overall, really any sort of conceptual design that involved video games or movies. Vitaly is, I mean, he is probably one of the greatest modern 3D artists. And if we're not just talking about like overall art ability, like I think his work ethic is truly something that is like, I mean, more than admirable. It's unreal. So as I said, this game was really on my radar because on Instagram at some point, Vitaly was like, hey, I'm making a game. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, I'll pretty much worship anything you do. So sure, why not? I'll play that game. Fast forward to the game's actual release in 2020. I mean, it was pretty cool. I think that there's a lot of great ideas in this game. But for the most part, there were certain aspects of a Souls-like game that I didn't really enjoy. One of the main things is like the flow of combat. Like right there, when I just hit that guy, he didn't even flinch. You know, my sword, this giant sword, just goes like straight through him, and it kind of like ruins the feel of the combat. If you've played Souls-likes or just the Souls games, Elden Ring, if you played Night Rain, I mean, you know that feel that From Software has developed in order to make the combat feel so good. Overall, I just never saw that, and I still don't really see it in this game. I will also say that I tried to play this game after only playing through Sekiro, so that was 2019, and then I think that I played part of DS1, and then I played DS3. So there were not a lot of references for me to pull from. And of course, I think it's also important to remember that the pool of Souls-like games wasn't as big as it is now. I don't really understand lore. I think that that's like probably one of the weak points as well. It seems to be like overly obscure. And I know that Vitaly and I'm sure his coworkers are like fans of death metal. I'm pretty sure Vitaly like actually makes music, like metal music. I mean, I think that you can tell based off the a lot of the designs, like Sester Janessa and just the overall like shell designs, which actually brings me to some of the positive. This isn't meant to be like a Mortal Shell review or anything like that. I'm just yapping away. But the whole like shell design, like how whatever shell you inhabit or whatever character you inhabit, that determines your health and your stamina. So like this character has a fuck ton of stamina, and I think that pairing a giant sword with a slower moveset with a lot of stamina just allows me to like spam these moves, right? Like I can get 2 full attack chains out before I run out of stamina. But the trade-off with that though is of course this skin or this shell also has the least amount of health. And right there, that's another aspect that I think is really interesting and that I haven't really seen before, but maybe I'm just ignorant to other releases. But the whole hardening aspect where at any point, because of your shell, you can harden, and it pretty much negates like any attack that could hit you or do damage to you. And it obviously recharges. So like, boom, there we go again. And I think that's interesting because like I was talking about with the flow of the combat, that really allows you to like completely, it puts a break in the combat at any time. And I just find that really interesting because no other game really has that. In the same way that other Souls-likes do it, you know, you can roll out or just avoid the combat entirely, back up and sort of like re-engage whenever you want. But the harden sort of allows you to pause the gameplay as if you're backing up and waiting to re-engage, but it's a lot faster paced because you're forced to sort of like stay within the range of the enemy attack. Hello, sir. Enslaved Grisha. So like right there, boom. Okay, I should hit him though. That'd be a good move to actually hit him. I'm also like really OP right now because I think that this is like the second area you're supposed to go to or the first area. And I didn't know that because like with all these games, like how the hell are you supposed to know where to go first, right? That's kind of a staple of Souls-likes as well. Yeah, I went to the third area first, and I'm just like, damn, all these enemies are really strong. But of course, in my usual fashion, I just brute forced my way through it. And I just got like super beefy. So here we are, just dominating the boss. Like that's not even difficult, except there's ice shards falling on me, and it seemed like one of them will definitely kill me. I also have like a bunch of passive abilities on this shell because again, you know, I just brute force my way through later part of the game, and just got a ton of tar, which is the currency, like souls or runes, and just found a bunch of items to upgrade my weapon. Look how cool that design is for Sester Janessa. mean, I just really admire the whole art team's ability to, obviously they're pulling from a lot of dark fantasy, but there's like a, I actually don't know the inspiration. I don't have the words for it because I'm not as informed as I would like to be, but it's just really fucking metal, you know? Like it's hard to like think of another word for me other than like just it's really metal. My main reason for revisiting this game, even though I didn't finish it the first time, is because they announced the second game. And I'm hoping that it's bigger and more ambitious and they can do a lot more stuff because they have a bigger team and hopefully they've learned their lessons from, I can't get through there, from this first game. And from maybe seeing how like other Souls-likes have achieved that feel and achieved success. Based off the trailer, they're certainly not getting rid of their identity with again how fucking metal everything looks and just really distinct visual identity. So I love that. But yeah, I'm excited to see like how they might expand on things that are very specific to their game, like the hardened mechanic or the shells or just overall like quality of life. One thing they definitely need to do is make it so you're not like consuming your heals off of like things that you have to pick up. Like dude, I don't want to pick up roasted rats and mushroom caps the whole game, okay? Like this isn't Demon Souls. We got to get rid of that. There needs to be a dedicated healing flask. And yeah, maybe that's me crying about something that makes the game easy mode or whatever. It's funny that tar is the currency in this game because the game that I really can't stop playing right now is Death Stranding 2. And in that game, without saying any spoilers, the like whole focus of the game is on the tar or the tar currents and like I guess if you played those games, if you played DS1, then you know what I'm talking about. But if not, then yeah, it doesn't matter. Just play the games, go deliver some packages. I had to like actively hold myself back from playing that game all night last night. It's one of those games where like when you get into the groove of it, you're like, oh, I'll just make one more delivery, one more delivery, one more delivery. And it truly is addicting in that way. I totally understand why somebody wouldn't enjoy that gameplay loop, but it's just really hitting the spot for me right now. The art direction in this game is pretty damn good. Like I've sort of alluded to a couple times. I actually think that its direction is probably its strongest point. So that's one of the reasons why I am revisiting this because, again, on my first playthrough, I got like a couple hours in and I was like, man, fuck this. But now with the imminent coming of the second one, here I am, almost done with the game. This guy's design is sick. It's like a Frost Knight with a big sword. Big sword versus big sword. Here we go, man. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He's invisible. That's scary. Boom. Right here. Special attack. He's doing a special attack too. I don't know what it is, but I'm about to do fat damage to him. I'm in the middle of his storm, but I'm just tanking the shit out of it. It doesn't matter. These bosses are so easy when you're just so OP. Look at that. Oh no. He's definitely got a second phase, right? Does it kind of take away from the game for me to just be so overpowered? I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm like frozen or something. There's just frost everywhere. Yeah, okay, I just got knocked out of my shell. That's awesome. Okay. I couldn't see anything and I was like trapped in a blizzard. So I'm assuming the blizzard damaged me and your shell health is like this big. You know, it's hard doing the good thing, the right thing, because if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if doing the difficult thing or if doing the bad thing was harder, then less people would likely do it. We have this conundrum here where we all have to try really hard to constantly remind ourselves to, you know, do the right thing, speak up. And it comes easier to some of us than it does others because you know that saying that's like, oh, it costs nothing to be a good person. Maybe this is the cynical part of me, but I think for a lot of people, it does cost something. It might not be extremely obvious, but often when you're helping someone, you're taking away some of your own time. So it's not like costing you something as if it's, you know, like it's not costing you an arm and a leg, literally. Let's say you have something planned, but then you go out of your way to cut into your own time in order to help somebody else or do the good thing, do the right thing. I think that that cost is still worth looking at, but it's not really worth getting like too upset over, because, you know, all the studies show, all the data shows that when we're down, when we're not feeling good about ourselves or about our own situations, the best thing that we can do is help somebody else. And that almost always makes us feel a lot better. It seems counterintuitive, yeah. But the cool thing is that if we can remind ourselves to get out of that mode, like get out of that selfish, prideful mode, then we will almost always end up in a better place when we help another person instead of like helping ourselves. Like a great example of this is, wow, I cannot parry. A great example of this is when, like, if we're feeling down and instead of going out and buying something for ourselves, we go out and spend that same amount of money on somebody else. He wasn't even swinging right there. Just tanks my attack. I gotta be careful here because I am without a extra life here. Whoa, 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 whoa. What am I doing? Oh my god, I'm using a glimpse. Please stop skating after me. No! I almost got greedy right there. For all I know, he would have taken out half of my health bar in one attack. Hello. Yeah, I mean, that seems like kind of like unnecessarily violent. I don't know, though. Just got a nice gland. Thanks for the gland, buddy. Defeated the boss. I got a gland. And everybody knows that that is the best place to stop a video. I hope you enjoyed. I appreciate you. And as always, I hope you're thinking about what you can do to be a better person to those around you. I sure am. I'm not always succeeding, but I am doing my best. I'm excited for Mortal Shell 2. I don't know if I'll make another video on this, but yeah, I figured I just wanted to get one out there. It's always fun to like bounce around on different games, you know? Hope you had a good 4th. If you're from America, good time celebrating with your family if you do that. If not, I just hope you had a good weekend. And also, thank you for a little over 400 subscribers. I appreciate it. I need 500 and then a little bit more watch time in order to monetize my videos. So that's really cool. It's rewarding just like throwing these videos out there consistently. It feels good to get a pretty good response from them. And there's nothing that I love more than just being myself, talking about the things that I love and enjoy, and people responding well to them. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one.